In 1986, Michael Jordan faced a first-round matchup with a Celtics team widely regarded as one of the best teams in NBA history. After being limited to just 18 games during the regular season due to a broken foot, Jordan was determined to prove himself on the national stage. In Game 2, with virtually every Celtic guarding him at one time or another, he did. Larry Bird described Jordan's playoff record 63-point outburst as God disguised as Michael Jordan. A lot of times you just say, let Jordan get his and stop the other guys, Celtics coach K.C. Jones would say later. That wasn't our plan. We were trying to keep him from scoring, and he still got 63. That's when we all got our first look into the future, and it was scary. What was even more amazing was this was the first time Jordan had scored more than 50 points in an NBA game. The Bulls fell 135 to 131 in double overtime before being swept 3 games to none, but Jordan had arrived. Jordan made his mark with this 63-point playoff game against a heavily favored Celtics team. Can you? Well, I sure as shit hope so, because we're going for it anyway. Hey yo guys, this is Jared aka the Saint of Sins on Xbox Live, bringing you some NBA 2K11 Michael Jordan Challenge on Hall of Fame difficulty. Right now we're going for the arrival, which means we're going to have to score 63 plus points, shoot 50% from the field, and record 6 plus assists. As the young kids would say, let's get this popping, yo. God, I'm white. Man, it feels good to be back on 2K11. A little time away from 2K12 could do me a little good. Granted, this gameplay footage was actually recorded back in October, but after cutting up this gameplay, I just had to go back and get my fill in this game. While 2K12 is good, I kind of prefer 11. I still feel it's the best simulation basketball game I've ever played in my life. Yeah, I don't know how much stock you want to put into my opinion, considering I was in love with MLB 2K12 within just playing my first game. I'm kind of an easy slut that way. Okay, you can put your dicks away. I'm not that easy. Fucking perverts. But anyway, getting back on track, I'm not entirely a fan of this gameplay mode simply because it kind of pulls me out of my element. I kind of like to distribute the ball a lot and try and penetrate the defense with pretty much everyone on the court. Can't really do that when I have to focus so much on scoring with Jordan. But listen to me complain about having to utilize one of the greatest basketball scorers of all time, who slams down one of his beautiful signature dunks. What do they call this one again? I don't know, I'm a basketball illiterate. Go figure, considering I love playing these games. For me, I've always just enjoyed playing basketball games on the console, whether it was NBA Live's franchise or throwing down on NBA Jam. Hell, I even remember playing Space Jam and absolutely killing it with my boy Daffy Duck. Fuck all you Bugs Bunny fans. Daffy was the shit. And anyone who says otherwise is a fucking idiot. Word quack, motherfuckers. There. That ought to incite an argument for the next month on B. Oh, what am I doing turning the ball over in 2 straight possessions like that? Now I'm just going to get a flood of fucking comments saying how much of a noob I am and how I should just lower the difficulty to pro because I can't handle the big boy play. Let me see if these try-hard panties actually fit my fat ass. To be fair to myself, I have gotten better at playing this game, especially on the higher difficulty setting. It's just, well, it's not going to translate in this game considering I was still very new to it. That's no excuse for letting the game slip away from me as much as it has, but it's a start, right? And I don't feel that my game is weak on the defensive side of the ball, but rather on the offensive. I mean, granted, I give up a lot of points, but I do get my share of big stops. Offensively, however, I tend to really struggle with my shot selection. See, I like to go for mid-range jumpers. Oftentimes, I feel I'm open when really I'm being contested. And by contested, I mean that there's a defender usually around 2 to 3 feet away from me. And in this game, that means I'm being contested. Another issue that springs up is, a lot of times I feel I have to drive to the basket, and I'm not very good at figuring out what combination of ISO moves will get me there with the least resistance. So unfortunately, that means I'm going to be bouncing off a lot of defenders. Another issue I have, I'm not very good at running plays. As a matter of fact, half the time I don't even know what the plays do. I tried learning some of them in freestyle practice, but ultimately I wasn't very fond of the results I was seeing. There didn't seem to be enough plays that opened up great space for shooting, nor did I feel it opened up lanes for driving. Another issue I have, sometimes I tend to just give the ball over on really stupid plays. Or other times, like that, I just pull up for a jumper when I really meant to go in with a drive. A lot of the times I'm just not a good judge of figuring out when I can actually start going in for the drive versus when I'll just pull up for a jumper. But hey, I'm battling, and going into the half, we can see just where I stand. With 23 points and 4 assists, we're pretty well on our way to getting this challenge done. And to boot, we're keeping the AI from shooting over 70%, which typically they tend to do against me. Oh, I almost forgot about this issue. The reason you don't see a lot of free throw shots from me, I really sucked with Jordan's free throw release in this game. Don't ask me why. I could hit it pretty much every other time I tried this challenge, as well as all the other challenges, but for some reason, I just struggled at the line with him in this game. This was likely one of the rare times that I was able to hit it, despite not getting a perfect release. Throughout this game, I wasn't just battling the AI, I was battling myself. As you can see right there, why was I going up for a block attempt when there was clearly no shot? There wasn't even a fake, and there's no excuse for me having done that. Typically what happens in the pressure moments, I tend to tense up. I overanalyze, I overthink, I put too much pressure upon myself when really all I have to do in order to get back into a good rhythm is sit back, relax, and kind of return back to the gameplay that I was utilizing that kept me in this fight. My problem is I don't have a killer instinct. I guess you'd say I'm more like LeBron than I care to admit. I mean, sure, while he's denying his receding hairline, I make mine look good. Right? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Really what I'm trying to say is I'm a timid little boy who just can't handle the pressure of being the killer. And it seems like every time I pull myself within striking distance of this team, I let him off the hook. It gets a little dark out there, Rick. As I find Charles Oakley for the 6th and final assist I need for this challenge. I don't quite understand why I pulled out my Al Pacino just there. We started off with a little Dennis Green, and all of a sudden, here comes the Pacino. What are you going to do? Besides admire this beautiful slam down by Michael Jordan. He's just going out there with no regard for human life. Well, that's just the kind of man that Jordan is. He doesn't care about any other human being out there. He doesn't care for life itself. He has no compassion. He's not a humanitarian out there. He's a killer. Now that I've burst every single one of your eardrums, I do deeply apologize. Not like that matters, considering you obviously can't even hear me right now. So let's see. I've given you guys visual whiplash. I've given you guys seizures. And now I've gone and completely ruined your ability to actually hear me. What else could I do for an encore at this point? Your medical bills are going to go skyrocketing through the roof. But thankfully, I've already legally covered myself by denying any sort of liability. Anyway, this gameplay is starting to slip away from me, as you can already tell by the score. So now my only goal is to focus on getting Jordan his 63 and shooting 50% from the field. Because at this point, the fight is gone. There's no coming back from a 20-point deficit with under a minute and 30 seconds. Because my defense failed me while my offense continued to struggle in playing catch-up. Step back jumper, shooter's roll, that's 63 right there. And I believe we already have over 50%, so anything we do at this point, so long as we don't go on a huge cold streak, we've got this challenge wrapped up. And this would be the first one we've officially hit. And of course the game has to go and rub some salt in my wounds by having Jordan commit a foul on an over-the-back call. Just a little bit of time left, and there's a steal. That's going to wrap up this game. Hey guys, let me know if you're still interested in seeing me start up the Michael Jordan Create a Legend Challenge, in which I plan to try and win a championship on all 30 teams with Michael Jordan as the star player. If not, I'm still more than happy to continue this Michael Jordan Challenge series on Hall of Fame difficulty. It's been real fun. And from here on out, the challenges are only going to get more difficult as they're actually going to require me to win the games, which is something I haven't been able to do yet. That's going to wrap up this gameplay, and here's our player of the game, Larry Bird.